What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. I hope you guys are strapped in. I hope you guys are ready. Today we are diving into DC versus Vampires World War V. This story is picking us up directly where we left off. Now, I'm going to assume that a lot of you are subscribers for the DC vs. Vampires original series. That is hands down my biggest video on this channel with like 360,000 views. But for those of you that might be new, DC vs. Vampires is an Elseworld story where we see vampires take over the world. The King Vampire, Nightwing, or at least it used to be Nightwing, but when Babs aka Oracle shows up, Nightwing thinks that he's about to make Babs his queen, that together they will rule over all the planets. But with Babs being turned, she kills Nightwing and she takes control of all vampires. But there is hope. Supergirl was able to bring out the sun, and so what remains of humanity, while they currently have a truce with the vampires, it is only a matter of time before all hell breaks loose. So make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel, make sure that you like this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we dive into this issue, we pick up 9 months ago. Coming in from a very long mission, we have Kyle Rayner and John Stewart. As they land on the ground, they see that something's wrong. They're not really sure what happened here. Maybe an evacuation or something of that nature, but Earth looks empty. Maybe even thinking that this was a plague. But when they turn around, they see Blue Beetle. They see other heroes greeting them. Now, the Lanterns have been gone for quite a while. Hal Jordan thought that he discovered a threat on the other side of the cosmos. They went to investigate while he gathered reinforcements. But those reinforcements, they never showed up, and they were caught in a war. When asking where is Hal, Blue Beetle and say that he had been killed when the fighting first started, asking who is responsible. This is when Blue Beetle and the others show their fangs, saying that the humans killed him, declaring to tear the Lanterns apart. They load up and they open fire. They lay down hell on the vampires. As they shield themselves, they recognize that they are very outnumbered here, that they cannot let themselves get surrounded. And so as they try to break the vampiric lines, what they did not expect was Wonder Woman. As she flies in, shield in front of her, she breaks through the light constructs. She knocks both Kyle and John right out of the air without skipping a beat. Wonder Woman is already on Kyle Rayner as he does his best to hold off all of her attacks. She's simply too powerful. She is quickly able to overpower him, and she drives her sword right through the back of the Lantern, telling John to run. He flies as hard and as fast as he can. Unfortunately, it wasn't fast enough. John Stewart getting swallowed up, but he's not dead. Elastic Man believed that he had just taken him off the board, but it wasn't so simple. This is when John Stewart busts free. Entrails and pieces of Elastic Man going in all directions. He tries to fight his way out of this, but there are simply far too many vampires. We see John Stewart overwhelmed, and the Green Lantern ring leave his body. This is where we are taken to present day. A convoy has currently stopped because a tree has fallen into the road. But what they did not expect was Damian Wayne. Damian had set up an ambush. He waited for the forces of the Queen to arrive, with them being so close to the safety of Gotham, yet they are so far away. Damian and his vampires, they kill all of them. Now, the vampires of the Queen are so surprised that these guys aren't human. Damian points out that this convoy belongs to the Queen. He's not a fan of the Queen. They may all be vampires, vampires. But Batwoman, Damian, these are people that don't kneel. The Queen requires them to kneel. This is something that they simply won't do. But they are going to send him back with a message. A message to let Babs know they're coming. And when Damian goes to open up and see what they had saved from whatever the convoy was going to, we see that the back of these trucks, they're hauling people. They're hauling human beings. And the humans thanking Damian for saving them. He lets them know that he didn't save them. Not exactly. Because at the end of the day, Damian and his people are vampires. This is not a battle to save humanity. This is a battle for who reigns supreme, who rules on top. Damian Wayne is challenging the hierarchy. He could care less about the human survival outside of their need to feed. This is what takes us to West Texas. We have Oliver Queen and a handful of other individuals. Kind of what remains of the human resistance. And John Constantine has just brought a vampire into their little hut. This individual is the vampiric guerrilla Grodd. Now, Grodd swears that he is here as a diplomatic envoy, invited by the wizard. He has come in the name of peace. He wants to prevent war. Guerrilla Grodd is bringing a message from the Queen. Queen Gordon, daughter born of blood, mother of all vampires and ruler of the 7 continents. The cursed child, Damian Wayne, and his transgressions, they must stop. They are expecting the humans to give this their full attention. Now, Lois Lane chimes in and says that Damian Wayne is a vampire. That's your guys' problem. The truce isn't based on who Barbara Gordon likes. It's between humans and vampires. Damian is not human. Guerrilla Grodd getting angry, saying that you will deal with him, or they will. That's when Talia al Ghul draws out her blade, letting Grodd know that if you touch my son, I will end you. That there will be nowhere you or your little queen would be able to hide. That this is not a matter of debate. They will not kill Damian Wayne. Grodd urging them to change their minds, to curb the child now, or the next time they meet will not be on friendly terms. With Grodd leaving, everybody begins to discuss what this means, what their really options are. Now, obviously, Talia's not on board. John Constantine's trying to convince everybody that this is a good idea, but Oliver isn't necessarily sold. He doesn't necessarily think that war could be a bad idea. More than that, he's recognizing that Damian Wayne is a threat to them, not to the humans, but to Gordon, that they agreed to this truce because they're scared of humanity. But he also knows John Constantine. If it would make his life just a tiny bit better, he would happily jump into bed with the devil tonight and not worry about anything else. As Ollie steps out, we pick up in New Jersey. We have a man who is running through the city. Right now, he is being hunted down by vampires. When they chase him into an alley, they think they have him cornered, but we see him scale a building like it is absolutely nothing. And when he gets on top of these buildings, he starts moving from one top to another. But eventually, he gets cornered, trying to talk his way out of this, trying to get away from them. This is when they hear the baby cry. But the man then shows his fangs. This man is also a vampire. Talking amongst themselves, they say that it's him, that the legends are true. To kill the man and don't hurt the baby. The Queen will reward them for the little freak that he carries around. And as they go in to attack this vampire, to take the baby away, one of them is pierced with a sword or a stake from behind. And we see Batman. With Batman taking out the vampires, only one remaining, holding the man with a baby at knife. With him on the edge, Batman hits him with something. Some kind of arrow, possibly a dart. But it hits the vampire. It makes him fall. His head explodes. And Batman is telling this guy and the baby he just saved that it's not safe to be traveling in these places. That the starving vampires don't respect the treaty. But when Batman turns around, the vampire and the baby are gone. Now, this is where we pick up with Ollie having a conversation. Him looking up at the stars, not being able to think of anything else but Kara, what she did for them. They thought that it was going to be over a year ago. He lost Hal, Barry, Bruce, Clark, Diana, Dick. Dang near everybody. He didn't think that they could win. He just wanted to take as many vampires down as he could. He had lost all hope. And then things changed. When Dick was killed, Kara brought out the sun. He found hope again. John may have been a friend at one point in time, a long time ago, but he changed. Or maybe all he has. He doesn't know, and he doesn't believe that it even matters. But John stood in front of the world and told everybody that he could stop the war. Not win it, stop it. And what that meant never hit him until tonight. He stood in that room and listened to a vampire guerrilla tell all of them that they should kill the only person left fighting back against them. They may have a truce, but Oliver can't help but feel like they're just waiting around, waiting to die. He is starting to lose hope again, but they saw Grodd. He's angry. They're scared. That means the kid is winning, and they should be too. Now, if Ollie's wrong, they lose, and all of humanity is wiped out. And so he refuses to lose. As we are taken to Gotham City, we are taken to the tower. We are taken to Barbara Gordon. After Gorilla Grodd returning, giving her the message, Grodd's not sure if they're actually gonna hunt down Damian, but Barbara wants to handle this delicately. Her fear is that they drive Damian directly to them. He will tell them what he found, that Constantine and the little council of humans, they can't find out about the human cattle that they have been moving. This would violate their treaties. It would be an act of war. And Aquaman, he doesn't really care. Barbara grabbing him by the throat, saying that Arthur constantly challenging her is getting very old, saying that if he continues to do so, she will consider it treason, that she will wipe him away from existence, dismissing them. And once everybody has left, a figure appears behind her. Hush has arrived. Barbara doesn't waste any time, she attacks. Hush tells her that her guards are already gone, but that she misunderstands that he is simply here to bring a message. Gorilla Grodd trying to fight through all the forces. Hush lets her know that Damian Wayne just wanted her to hear something. Sic semper tyrannis. The Latin phrase meaning thus always to tyrants. What Brutus had uttered after assassinating Julius Caesar. The full sentence, thus always I caused the death of tyrants. And as Hush clicks that button, Hush detonates. With his detonation, Barbara Gordon burns to a crisp. The two of them fall from the tower. Ring the bells. The queen is dead. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. One heck of an issue. It appears the reign of Barbara Gordon did not last long. And the truth is, it looked like her own people were about to turn against her. Not Damian and them, they're a separate whole other rebellion of their own. But Arthur and Gorilla Grodd don't seem too happy with the way that she was running things. Now that Barbara is dead, who takes over? Does Arthur take her place? And if he does, what kind of tyranny will he bring? This is going to force Damian to team up with the humans. They are going to have to work together to take down the vampiric rule that is currently in place, because they may have cut off the head of one, but two more are gonna take its place. This battle is far from over. This was just the first of many blows to come. Damian has just dealt a heavy blow to the vampiric leadership in Gotham City. But now that there is a vacuum of power, who do you think is gonna fill it? Let me know what you guys think. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your theories. If you want to get caught up on everything that is going on with this series, go ahead, check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It'll get you completely caught up on everything that has been going on with DC versus vampires. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership. Much like Patreon, having multiple different tiers, from $1 to $50, from loyalty badges to comics every single month. Not only are you helping out the channel tremendously, you are getting tons of perks in the process. Now, if you're unable to do this, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.